No big deal, guys. I'm just about to interview the guy behind Wakanda Forever. You know, the best board game out there right now in 2019. So we're going to bring Nick Metzler on board, the mastermind behind the board game Wakanda Forever. So this is going to be pretty cool. You guys are going to get a sneak peek at what Nick is doing. And you guys, if you already follow me on the channel here, you know it's about entrepreneurship, Instagram growth. So, hey, we're going to talk about Wakanda Forever, how he's scaling that with Instagram, how it's getting behind Kendrick Lamar's audience, and how Nick here is getting interview after interview after interview on Instagram. So if you're a Wakanda Forever fan, this video is for you. And if you're one of my subscribers or not yet subscribed and want to be making money on Instagram or figure out how to grow your brand on Instagram, this is a little bit of a different take. So we're going to bring Nick on right now, talk about Wakanda Forever, talk about how he's killing it on Instagram and just starting out and seeing what's going on behind the game, behind the scenes, what the next big plans are, all that stuff. So let's get Nick on right now. All right, guys, we got Nick on here. Gonna bring Nick on board. It's absolutely crazy. He's got some amazing stuff to tell you guys. So Nick, thank you for being here. I know you got a busy day, but thank you for being on the show.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Awesome. So get started by telling us, because you've got like a very, for lack of a better word, eclectic background. You're involved in Wakanda Forever. You're doing some other crazy stuff, which I'll let you spill, but I don't think I've ever talked to or had a member like in the program for that matter that is like, oh yeah, I'm doing this and I'm involved in like a TV show here. And I'm like thinking this guy, like, what the heck? Like, this is all talk. And then it's like completely real. So like tell everybody here, you're involved with Wakanda Forever. You've been designing board games and stuff. Like, give us all like the mind-blowing facts, statistics, all this awesome stuff that you're doing with your life right now.
Yeah, sure. Happy to. It's I feel like I've been living a dream, quite honestly. I wake up and I'm like, am I actually awake right now? This is really my life. It's pretty amazing. I make board games for a living, and that's my full-time job. So I actually get to go into an office and create board games full-time with the team, and it's just absolutely fantastic. And we get to work with some really cool licenses, mainly Marvel. I just put out a game called the Office Downsizing game, which is hilarious as well. So that uses the Office.
Okay.
I do all sorts of other games as well. I made one called Zodiac Clash, but I'm also into a lot of other real-time games and things like that. So I design escape rooms. I've designed challenges for Survivor. I've done immersive theater gameplay experiences, which if you don't know what that is, most people don't. It's very small. Think about like you're going to a play and you're going to see a play, but the actors can interact with you. And then put like a game layer over the top of it so you can talk to the actors and maybe they'll give you a quest that you have to go on and it'll change your experience of the night. Maybe you become a VIP and have a certain role to play in the actual experience itself. So I've done
That's
all
crazy.
sorts of other stuff. Yeah, it's been a blast. So I'm in and around games in all mediums. And that's I found my passion. I'm very psyched to know what that is.
And you've designed how many board games by now?
So I have 23 board games in market right now, and that's in Walmart, Target, Amazon. Most of that stuff is pure luck because I'm in a really big company right now. If I wasn't with that company, I probably wouldn't be able to say that. But
Sure.
because I'm with the second largest board game distributor in the world, Spin Master, I get to have that ability.
That's so freaking awesome. And then, so what people are probably wondering about on here, you know what, actually, let's spill that in a second. We'll get into
Sure.
the Wakanda Forever segment of this video in a second. Guys, hey, if you're brand new to the channel, there it is.
That's me with my 2 games on shelf at
That
Target.
is so sick. That is so sick. You're like in the store and your games are right behind you.
That's it.
That's awesome. Guys, in a second, we'll get into the whole Wakanda Forever thing, but if you're brand new to the YouTube channel, there's a button that looks like that. It's called a thumb. You should hit it. That's the like button. If you don't know how to do that, you should probably get off the channel right now because it's pretty basic, but hit that like button. Okay, there's another thing that you haven't mentioned yet, which has to do with a TV show that's got several seasons that I've been an avid viewer of, okay, and that I'm like personally addicted to. And what is that show?
That show is called Survivor. So I was an avid fan as well. I absolutely loved the show. And I said when I was a senior in high school, I was like, this is the ultimate game. I have to be a part of this. So I ran my own Survivor in my backyard for my friends, loved it, and decided, you know what? I need to take my skills to the next level. A year later, after searching through a ton of different people, I was able to find Mark Burnett, who was I had no previous interaction with him. Shook his hand and asked him basically for a job. And the next 4 months I spent in the Philippines building, painting, and testing all the challenges on the show. And I got a challenge on the show, and it was absolutely amazing, and became a freelance challenge designer for Survivor.
How long ago was that?
That was freshman year, so that was 6 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you're how old now?
I am 25 now, so I went out there at 19.
And you designed the challenges for the show Survivor.
Yeah, you always wonder like who is putting these contestants through mental and physical torture. Turns out it's some college kid in his bedroom. So,
guys, if you don't believe this, here's a picture of Nick with the Survivor host Jeff right there. So if you don't believe that, there's Nick, there's Jeff. Okay, so there's all the proof in the world that you guys need. So the next part, because I know a lot of people follow this YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, for the social media stuff, the entrepreneurial aspect. And if you guys don't see by now, this dude is pure 150% entrepreneur. But a lot of them are wondering about like Instagram and stuff like that. And I know you're a part of the Instagram Mastery program, which, by the way, guys, if you haven't registered for the free masterclass to teach you how to monetize Instagram, how to grow on Instagram, all that stuff, the link is in the description below. But Nick had been telling me, you told me a few days ago that you've lined up like a whole bunch of interviews through Instagram, and you've only accumulated what, like a few hundred followers, and you're already lining up a whole bunch of interviews?
Yeah, so I started Instagram probably about a month and a half ago, and I've dove pretty deep into it and really learned a lot from the course, because I came into this knowing absolutely nothing for Instagram. Like I knew nothing. I knew zero. And at this point, I've been growing unbelievably fast in my niche, which obviously is board gaming. So you're not going to grow as fast as like an entrepreneurship niche or like a fashion niche, but it's exactly the speed that I need to be growing to really understand the community and have a conversation back and forth. And I've been absolutely psyched with my growth for that. And as a result of that, I've actually been able to get in touch with most of the bloggers, most of the high level reviewers and people like that. And I've started building personal relationships with them. So by the time next year comes around, when I'm launching a bunch of games, I can seriously just hit them up and say, hey, would you like to review this game? And it could spark an entire trend where my games blow it out of the market, which we've seen in the past. So I'm psyched about that. I've already lined up a couple interviews and stuff as a result of that. So I've been on a couple podcasts. I've gotten a couple articles written about me from Instagram. Not from Instagram.
Yeah, sure.
Somebody hit me. Yeah,
sure.
And a bunch of people actually met me in person at a gaming convention. They were asking for my audience or autograph and stuff. So I was signing games at the convention when I was launching.
You're a stud.
No, it was a really cool experience to actually meet somebody in person that had connected to me over the internet. So I thought that was amazing. And
That's so crazy. That's so crazy, man. And you had said something about like, okay, so guys, Wakanda Forever, right? Talk about Wakanda Forever. What role Instagram played with Wakanda Forever. You mentioned something with Kendrick Lamar. You mentioned a picture or a post that got like an insane amount of likes. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so obviously with Wakanda Forever, that's a pretty big property owned by Marvel. If you aren't aware, you probably are living under a rock. So go out and watch the movie. If you haven't seen it, it's fantastic. And it's a big cultural cornerstone for a lot of people. And I knew that Kendrick Lamar had made and Top Dog Entertainment had produced the album for the movie. And I also knew that my friend actually worked at their label. So I hit him up and was like, hey, do you think Kendrick Lamar would be interested in this? And he said, yeah, absolutely, send it through. So it seems like Kendrick Lamar and all of the other artists on the album are going to be getting a copy. And we're hoping that they like it enough to post something on Instagram. I think that would be amazing.
Nice.
Also set up a partnership with Marvel Entertainment. They loved the product so much that they said, you know what, we want to post this on our Instagram as well, which was massive. It's the 22nd largest Instagram in the world.
Sure.
They've just got an unbelievable amount of followers and engagement. And so they posted our picture that I helped design kind of like the storyline for. It was a carousel picture. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I hadn't learned all this Instagram stuff. And I was out there at the photo shoot, kind of directing what the photos should look like. And that actually got posted on Marvel's Instagram. So that was pretty cool.
How much engagement did that get?
It was like 370,000 likes.
370,000 likes.
Yeah, it was just absurd. So
Wow.
absurd growth. I was very psyched about that.
That's crazy. So what's your goal, like in the next 6 months, 12 months? What's your goal with Instagram and your niche, the board games? What's your goal with all of it?
So my goal for the board gaming niche is to really understand what the community is all about so that I can start making games that the customers already want. And with that knowledge of what the customer already wants, I can go to my bosses and my managers and say, hey, look, this is what people really are excited about. This is what's about to be trending. And we can put out a game that will hit that zeitgeist really, really easily and really quickly. In addition, I get to be part of the real-time conversation at all points in time. I get to talk to the people that are playing my games and reviewing my games rather than just being behind a wall of a corporate structure where I don't really have a name. When you have this two-way conversation, you can make so much better games and game design because you know what the people want, you know what they're resonating with, and you can adapt really, really fast. Granted, since we've got a lot of confidentiality agreements and things like that, I can't tell people what I'm working on and things like that, but I can get what their interests are with specifically asked questions. So I'm looking forward to doing that with Instagram. And you never know, if I had a big enough audience and I put something out there saying, hey, we're launching this game and a bunch of people like it, you never know, that could really drastically impact sales. So
absolutely,
that would be cool.
So you're doing this right now with, like, you got started on Instagram 6, maybe 7 weeks ago. How many followers do you have right now?
So I have just under 600 followers, but I'm very happy with that number. They're all pretty engaged. My engagement rate is at like 20%. So I'm regularly getting like 150 likes on my posts, and it's just fantastic.
And this just goes to show, because a lot of people, when it comes to Instagram growth, when it comes to building a brand or monetizing anything, they think, oh, I have to be a model. I have to have an ass the size of Nicki Minaj. I have to have $80,000 of plastic surgery or like 1 million followers. The reality is everybody started right there at zero. So I got a couple last questions. I'm gonna just shoot off the hip here. How many years did you spend in college?
I spent 4 years in college.
Okay, what did you get your degree in?
So I got my degree in entrepreneurship, business administration, and psychology, actually.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, and here's the next question. When you went into like this whole career and being able to get into this industry, did you have a lot of money to get started, or were you just kind of like a broke college student starting from zero?
So I was less than a broke college student starting from zero. I graduated with $110K in debt.
Oh my gosh.
Undergrad, USC, fight on. But honestly, I really loved USC. It was worth every single penny. For me, I wouldn't recommend it for a lot of people because you really have to take advantage of the opportunities there. But yeah, I loved it.
Where did you go?
USC.
Okay, crazy. Yeah, and if you know me, or you guys know me listening to me, like, my thing is that, like, and it's funny that you say you got a degree in entrepreneurship, because I'm always telling people, look, you don't freaking go to college for entrepreneur, because for the most part, you don't.
You get your experience and your degree out in the real world.
Yes, and your professor teaching entrepreneurship makes 70 fucking grand a year, maybe 100. Like, wow, you know what I mean? And so, like, I'm like, if you're a doctor, lawyer, engineer, you got to go to school. But like, entrepreneurship is created out there in the school of life. You know what I mean? So that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. For those people,
again, I totally agree with you on all of those points. The USC is a little bit different, but yes.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, that's a pretty prestigious school, like really prestigious school. So that's pretty cool that you had the opportunity to go there as well. Anything that you want to tell the audience, everybody watching this right now, about, like, anything you can spill about future plans or your own goals with Instagram, or where you're trying to go from here, like anything you want to spill that you can, that doesn't break any confidentiality things at all?
Yeah, sure. You absolutely can achieve this. You can do this. I tracked my time every 15 minutes for the entire year last year, just to see how much time I could have to spend on a part-time project and stuff like this. You have the time. You really do. I'm currently spending about 20 hours a week on this, and it's been huge growth. you can probably spend 10 to 15 hours a week and still be just fine. So if you really want a second stream of income and you want to understand how to monetize an Instagram, this is the course for you. You need to get this course. You need to invest in this because $2,000 is so much cheaper than any college course you will ever take. And this is real applicable skills. And I know Ben is not paying me to say this or anything. I actually truly agree with this and truly believe this. This course is fantastic.
I appreciate that, man. And
Yeah,
for those of you
absolutely.
that are watching this right now, here's the really cool thing is you didn't even have to go that far. You can get started with the masterclass, which doesn't cost you anything to watch and learn, like people from Nick Metzler that are crushing it with Instagram and all the other people that have been through the program. You can get started learning for free. Link is in the description. So just make sure to click it. And I'm also going to be including Nick's Instagram account. So everybody on here, you cannot ever watch one more of my videos on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere, unless you go over to Nick's Instagram account, give him a follow. Link is in the description for that. Nick, I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing all this value to our audience here. And guys, if you're brand new, subscribe and make sure to follow Nick on Instagram.